I'll start. Good morning, good morning. Please come in and take a seat. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, colleagues, partners from Austria, from Europe and beyond. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you here to the Celtic-Plus event, and so to the second day of the third International Software Days. We are happy and proud that these two events, okay, I'll wait, yeah. We are happy and proud. I'll stop, so we didn't start too early. So we are happy and proud that so many people, that these two events attract so many people, so many guests from all over the world to come to Vienna for this event. Let me only mention an example. Today, a delegation from South Africa and Canada is here. I know that's a very long trip, and so thank you for coming, and it's really a pleasure having you here today. My name is Andrea Höglinger, and I'm head of Division for European and International Programs at the Austrian Research Promotion Agency. The Austrian Research Promotion Agency is the national funding agency for applied research, and we are also responsible for the Austrian participation and support of research organizations and enterprises in European research programs. The Eureka office is part of my team, and I really would like to congratulate and warmly thank my team and all their partners from national level, from European level, and of course from beyond Europe. I think organizing such an event means that there's really a commitment necessary, that it really means a very good and close cooperation base. And as I've heard yesterday, it was really crowded here, and I'm convinced that today will also be a successful meeting for all of you. As funding agency for applied research, and as well as national hub for European programs, we are really extremely interested in supporting research and innovation at national, European, and international level. Investment in research and innovation in the area of information technologies is of utmost importance, and no matter whether we are talking about national funding programs or tackling social global challenges at European level. Let me only mention a few figures. For example, last year we have invested more than 70 million euro, that's about 15% of our national funding budget, in funding of ICT-related projects at national level. And we are also, our ICT community is also extremely well represented within Horizon 2020. We got back about 25 million euros within the first year of Horizon 2020, only in the field of ICT. But, and there's always a but, there's room for improvement in regard to our participation within the Celtic-Plus cluster, and I'm confident that this event will contribute to our aim, and that more Austrian research organizations and enterprises taking actively part within the Celtic Cluster Plus. And so I would also like to thank my colleague and the chair of the Celtic Plus cluster for organizing or for holding the annual conference here in Vienna, and thank you for coming, and it's really a pleasure for us to work with you. Thanks a lot. So therefore, and I think today there will be a presentation about successful Celtic cluster project, and I think that's a great opportunity to get an overview and insight what's going on within this project, what results they've achieved, and how the partners benefited. So take this opportunity to find out what is in within Celtic cluster for you, and I think I really would like to encourage you to get connected, to use this event to get connected to, and I wish you all new ideas, new insights, and what I really would like would be that you left today's event with new ideas, with new cooperation partners, even friends, with new friends, and I wish you really new concepts for your further projects, with projects for the Celtic cluster, but also for Horizon 2020 and for other European and international funding programs. I wish you an extremely interesting day. I wish you All the best for the future, and I wish you a lot of new project ideas and successful projects for the future. Thank you very much for being here, and all the best, and take care. Thanks a lot. Yeah, and now I'll hand over to the chair of the Celtic-Plus cluster, Jacques Magen. Thanks. All the best.
Thank you very much for this welcome to Vienna. And I must say, I mean, you are thanking us, but it is us who shall thank you for hosting us here. I think we even have the chance to have a very beautiful day that we can see over the window, okay? But you will have the opportunity to go around during the coffee break and the lunch break. So let's hope the sun is going to be there for the whole day. I am very, very happy. As was said, I am Jacques Magen, the chairman of the Celtic-Plus Eureka cluster, and I am very, very happy to see this room getting very full. I mean, for those of you who are there are still some seats available if you want, so you don't need to stand the whole day. I want, of course, to thank FFG, the Austrian Research Promotion Agency, for co-organizing this with us today, and the Chamber of Commerce for hosting us in this very nice room and this very nice building. I also want to thank Nokia, our sponsor in Celtic-Plus. And I have a couple of information to give to you before presenting the agenda. First of all, if there are some of you who do not want any of the photos of your photo to be published on the web, okay, please tell Peter Hermann, who is taking the pictures, okay? Because we have to ask you the authorization, okay? So if any of you don't want any picture of you on the web, please tell Peter. That's the same thing for the people who are giving presentations during the day. If you do not want your presentation to be online, please tell Peter, and we will note that, and this presentation will not be online. Otherwise, pictures and presentation will be put online so that everybody can have a look, especially at the presentation of the project ideas, because one of the main ideas of today is also to network and prepare project together. All right? So I will give you just an overview of a brief overview of the agenda today. So we will start with a keynote speech. I will come back to that. Then we will have a 1-hour presentation of the 3 Celtic-Plus projects which got the Celtic-Plus 2015 awards yesterday evening, for those of you who were with us at this nice dinner. And then don't miss the opportunity to go to the exhibition and to tour the project. I mean, usually everybody, I mean, if this is your first time in a Celtic-Plus event, every time people say this is one of the highlights of the day, you know, because this is a great opportunity for all of you to see the results of Celtic-Plus projects. And most of the time, people, I must say, are quite impressed with the results, okay? So have a look. You will see the outcomes and the results and the impact on the market time to time when the project is already over. This is really something you shall not miss, and this is in the other room there. Then another highlight today is this session, which is called Telecommunications Beyond Europe. We are part of the Eureka framework, and Eureka is not only the 28 EU member states. It is 40 European countries, plus a few what we call associated countries outside Europe. Okay? Among these countries, there are 2 countries which are Canada and South Africa, and you will have the opportunity to hear what they have to say about their ideas and how they see telecommunications. And I am already stressing out that you can include in your consortium Canadian, South African, Korean partners. Okay, this is possible, this is allowed, and I encourage you to do that. Then, of course, we will have a panel on the future of telecom, quite an ambitious and challenging topic, and which will be moderated by David Kennedy, and then we will wrap up. But it is important to remember that at the end of the day, you will have the opportunity to hear the best practice for proposers. For those of you, especially those of you who have never submitted a proposal into Celtic-Plus, I really, really stress this is a very important session, because all the good practice, how to do things, you will learn there. Okay? So, I mean, if you are not too much in a hurry to go home or to take your plane, please, it is important that you stay there. All right? Okay, so this is the presentation of the agenda for the day. And now I think without further delay, we are going to start with the first keynote of the day, which is 5G Vision from 5G Infrastructure Association. And the speech is going to be provided by Jean-Sebastien Bedo from Orange Lab. Jean-Sebastien graduated from École Polytechnique and Telecom Paris-Tech in 2004. He is a member of the Board of Directors of the 5G Infrastructure Association and of the steering board of the Network 2020 European Technology Platform. Since 2009, he has been working for Orange Innovation, Marketing and Technologies Department as strategic advisor for network technology choices. Jean-Sebastien, the floor is yours.
So thank you, Jacques, for this very nice introduction.
If you prefer, you can probably use that.
I can try. Is it better? Yes. Okay. So just maybe a few words about the 5G PPP, the private-public partnership. So it's a contract between the European Commission and an association which is named the 5G Infrastructure Association. And this contract is based on a 700 million euros program of funded research in H2020. So I'm a little bit alien in there because it's H2020, but clearly this program on 5G is open to other type of projects, and we would welcome collaboration between 5G PPP project and Celtic project, of course. So here my talk is based on a work that has been done within the association, which is composed of 36 organizations, so both industry, SMEs, and research organizations. So it's representing the European ICT industry, and so this vision on 5G was presented at the Mobile World Congress, and is based on consensus work that we had between these organizations. So just I wanted to start with some, let's say, some good news for Europe and some things that will give us some happiness to start the day. So ICT is very important in Europe. It's 5% of European GDP, and really it's something that could help Europe to have some growth. And 5G can be really nice technology for all the industry, because it opens new way to innovate, and also new roles in the ecosystem. And so it means that you have some big opportunities, and Europe is very well placed in the global race towards 5G, because we started with already some years ago with projects like METIS, who really paved the way towards 5G use case, scenarios and requirements. And so we are in a good shape. We have good R&D in Europe, and we can take a big market share in this area. So then I will go towards some ideas about the services that could be possible with 5G. So in our paper, we highlighted mainly 3 types of new services. So the first type is really in the continuity of what we have today with 3G, 4G, and mobile broadband. But here, the idea is that with 5G, we will focus on user experience. It means shifting from a way of thinking about quality of service and, let's say, technical parameters like bandwidth, capacity, or things like that, towards really user-centric experience with focusing on a very challenging situation. You all travel a lot for your projects and in your daily activities, so you know that it's very hard to have a good internet connection in a train, an high-speed train, or in a car. So one of the aims of 5G would be to provide a very good internet service in this condition, but also in a very dense area, like in the football stadium, but also in other places. We were talking just before about Africa. There are lots of rural areas with quite poor coverage where you basically have only voice. And really with 5G, one of the aims is to cover really better these villages with really good internet. So this is about the first type of services, which is really user experience continuity. So then the second area, I think you already heard about a lot this year, it's the Internet of Things. Clearly in this area, we are at the beginning of something which will really change dramatically our society. We have seen lots of initiative flourishing at the beginning of 2015 with a big alliance, which is named IOTI. I don't know if you have been aware of that, but the idea is to gather lots of European initiative in Internet of Things to really improve the connectivity with the specific requirements that the sensor and objects have. For example, the energy constraints are very high on sensors, so we are thinking about sensor with 15 years without any charge. So this is very challenging for networking, and we need to find new ways, maybe to deactivate some network functions, maybe to rethink signaling protocols and the air interface to really adapt to these energy stringent requirements. So here we have a lot of technical work and very interesting business opportunities, and the PPP could be a good way to standardize these new technologies to provide Internet of Things. And the last type of new services that we raised in this vision paper is about mission critical services. So here we are thinking of lots of different things, but I will just give one example, which is the autonomous car. So the idea is that in 2020 plus, maybe 2030, we will have some more autonomous cars being able to detect the possible collision with the road, with other cars, but also to help the driver to reach his destination more safely. And in this area, we really need some different requirements. The throughput or the bandwidth is not really the objective in this case. It's more to be very short in the delay, because if you want to avoid a collision, then 1 or 5 milliseconds is already enough. So here we need to be also very innovative with our connectivity solutions. So this was about the main services, and then I will talk about some key business drivers that we raised for 5G. The first one is related to the separation between the infrastructure and the connectivity services. So in 5G, we really think that we will deliver an infrastructure service in parallel to connectivity services. And this infrastructure service will be based on the principle that we have today with cloud. So it will be programmable and really easily accessible through other service models. So here also we mean that IT and network resources will be accessible through single interface. So this is really interesting, and today we see that network is a bit the bottleneck in some cloud services, and so this could help to unleash a new innovation, as we have seen already with the cloud model for IT resources. The second one is about multi-tenancy model. So here it's more business model-oriented transformation, and the idea is that the infrastructure owners will not necessarily be the network service providers. And so several network service providers could use the same infrastructure. And it means that we could also have, let's say, several network slices on the same infrastructure, on the same equipment. And it could open the way to very innovative core network or access networks. Then the third point is that 5G will be sustainable and scalable technologies. Here mainly we are thinking about energy savings. This is a really important aspect for operators because with 4G the energy per bit is not in a very good shape, let's say. We are consuming much more energy per bit when we are increasing a bit the throughput compared to 3G. So with 5G we want to get back to a much more energy savvy infrastructure and services. And the fourth driver would be also to create a new ecosystem. And this is related to the last one, which is that in 5G we see the innovation ecosystem really growing beyond the ICT sector frontiers towards vertical sectors like the health sector, like the automotive sector, or the energy sector. Here we have seen some premises with smart city services, with smart home services like security at home, different things like that. But it's only beginning. Really the digitalization of all vertical sector is starting, and with 5G there is an enormous opportunity around this involvement of more vertical sectors, either on the business side but also on the innovation side. So to bring in our projects actors, players from the vertical markets. So now a bit about technical requirements of 5G. So in this picture you see, let's say, traditional key performance indicators like the throughput, the capacity of the cell, which we want to increase 1,000-fold compared to 4G. But there are also more innovative KPIs like the latency that we have talked about before, or things like being able to deploy services much more rapidly than we are doing today. So from 90 days to 90 minutes. So to be really in a cloud mode for networking services. There is also some interesting indicators in the mobility side, where we want to reach 500 km per hour in our capacity to offer a good mobile broadband service. So we see with this scheme that 5G is new in the types of targets that we want to reach. It's not only bandwidth and capacity, it's much more than that. But these different KPIs will not be reached every time for every service. It will be really a flexible service, and maybe this 1 millisecond latency we need it for car-to-car, but not for mobile broadband. So we need to be much more flexible in the way that you provide access networks. So here it's a picture about, it's a first vision of the architecture and the different technologies that could be used for 5G. So we have some things that are in the continuity in the access network, like ultra-dense networks. So here we already have seen, for example, small cells developing a lot, especially in Asia. We foresee that with 5G, this trend will go further with very small cells, with even some spectrum above 6 gigahertz, meaning a very small cell but with very high capacity. We are thinking about 1 gigahertz spectrum, so it's really huge bands that could provide a tremendous amount of bandwidth in these cells, for example, in stadiums or things like that. We are thinking also in this area about massive MIMO technologies or things like that. On the mobile access network, more innovative technologies are here, like D2D and moving networks. So D2D, you already experienced it, a first step today when, for example, you link your mobile phone to your TV set to send an image on your TV. But here we really want to provide D2D in a much greater scale and with the help of operator infrastructure. So to have a managed D2D services. We can think about car-to-car communication, but also to use the mobile devices, the different devices that have a wireless connection in the surroundings to act as relays toward the mobile networks. So it could really improve the coverage, the capacity of our networks. And about moving networks, here we are thinking about cars, different objects that are moving and that could provide a network access. Now, if we are going beyond the wireless access, the big transformation is here in the virtualization, so the network function virtualization and software-defined networking technologies that you already have heard about a lot. But beyond that, we can think about new emerging topics like mobile edge computing or fog computing. In a sense, edge computing, so putting some servers, some storage capacity, some compute capacity closer to the base station and to the end users. And this could provide very innovative use cases because it's a capacity which could improve indicators like latency, but also provide some information from networks towards application. So, for example, using the radio fine-grained information to improve, I don't know, an OTT app or video streaming app. So this is really also an interesting trend for both the flexibility of infrastructure and new innovative services. So at the bottom I've written something that we really think is that 5G design should be inspired by modern operating system architecture, and that in a sense we would like to have a kind of network-wide operating system ranging from the device to the core network, and so to open really a kind of network application store with the possibility to plug new services from very different providers, not necessarily always the same big industry players. So opening the way for also innovation from SMEs to really get easily in service providers and operators infrastructure. Here I list also all these key technologies components that I've talked about. I think I've talked about the first one, but maybe not this. This I wanted to stress a bit about also big data and exploitation of data analytics. Because with all these new trends that we see, the virtualization of network function, this new type of access networks, we foresee that network services management will be very challenging. So we will need the help of new techniques related to data to facilitate and automate more the work that our teams are doing daily on the management of end-to-end networks. So last but not least, I wanted to close this talk with a small roadmap that we foresee on 5G. So on the top of this roadmap, you see the main standardization body of 5G, which will be 3GPP. So we foresee that 5G technical items will start in release 15 and will continue in release 16. But the work on services has already started in there. So today for release 14, we will have work on the service items on 5G and still technical items on 4G. Then we also think that as you have seen, 5G is not only about wireless networks. So 3GPP will not be the only standardization body to deal with 5G. So we will have other bodies like ETSI, which has already started to work on network function virtualization, for example. But we see also some standardization body for cloud services and also open source initiatives, which are very interesting for these technologies in 5G. Here in the middle, you can see the roadmap of the 5G PPP. So today, the first phase will start the 1st of July. So the project, the first set of projects have been selected and should start the 1st of July for 2 years, on some of them a bit more. And then we will have phase 2. So phase 2 call should be issued at the end of this year for proposals that should be placed at September, October next year. So and they will start in 2017. So this is call 2, and then we have call 3, which will be 2 years later again. So so I would say that now there is an opportunity also for Celtic project to join this first set of selected projects to shape the European vision and innovation on 5G. And that's it. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate.
Thank you very much, Jean-Sebastien, for this first keynote speech of the day, presenting the 5G vision from the 5G Infrastructure Association. I want to stress once again that, I mean, 700 million euro on over until 2020, 2021 from the Commission is an impressive figure, but we have actually the same budget for Celtic. Okay, so I mean, 5G projects are actually very much welcome, and there are opportunities for bridging, if needed, between the projects within the 5G PPP and the 5G projects that will be performed within the frame of Celtic-Plus. Before we move on, are there any questions? Yes? Okay. Can we? I'll give that to you.
Good morning, Jean-Pierre Tual, Gemalto. In all these presentations, I see always the same type of technology criteria. And for me, there is something which is not very heavily put in evidence, that is a problem of global security of the network. And I'm still a little bit worried because for me, it's a major challenge. We see now what happens. And I'm not sure that it is put at the right emphasis in this presentation, because it may really create a lot of problems with the counterpart, which is the privacy of all the stakeholders, not only the end user, but the privacy of all the stakeholders in the system. So for me, it's not currently explicitly addressed, and it seems I'm missing something.
You are perfectly right, and thank you for the question, because it's a very important topic. And so it has been identified, especially for call 2, that security is very important. So even in call 1, we had a very interesting proposal on security, but it was not retained by the Commission. But we think it's a key missing point in this call 1 selection. And here, maybe I can stress a bit more what is under this. With this transformation that we have seen of more software in the network, the security will be very, very important, because here we will put some new pieces of software more often in the network, and we need to ensure that the different problems are a bit isolated to avoid making some breaches in new software or new pieces, and then so the hackers can enter very easily in the rest of the system. So we need to stress on this part, to isolate the different parts and to have an end-to-end security chain that we can control and proof easily.
Considered from the very early beginning. So for 5G, we should target the secure and privacy-able by design architecture. If we add security on the top of existing pieces, we will never succeed.
I think you are very much welcome to submit a proposal into Celtic-Plus next time. Next.
To make this leap towards 5G, you will apply some new schemes.
I'm sorry, excuse me, can you just introduce yourself in one word? Thank you.
I'm Bernhard Schrenk from AIT, Austria. Again, to make this leap towards 5G, we'll have to implement some novel cooperative multi-point schemes, Cloud RAN, yeah. It will require massive optical front hauling with data rates of 100G. Now they're standardizing WDM overlay for NG.2. So the question I'm doing is, will you take this momentum of deploying the front haul during network densification also to support deployment of wireline services, or is this going to move towards something like all wireless in 2020 without fiber to the home?
Again, it's a very good question because so from the start we said in our vision that we see 5G as a converging technology, so making the link between wireless and wireline or fixed services. So yes, definitely there are some projects looking at the opportunity to leverage on the investment that we are doing on fixed services and fiber, especially for fronthauling and backhauling of mobile networks.
Yes, my name is Fassam Ekrea, and I'm from the CIER in South Africa again. I would like, to agree with the previous speakers also here, the questioners, because I don't see new thinking in the 5G plan which you presented now, because I see there is a lot of requirement of bandwidths for meeting the IoT, and also new subscribers requiring high bandwidth services. But there is no spectrum agility that was supposed to be in the 5G. I think in the initial plan of 5G there was spectrum toolboxes that was suggested, but I don't know where they have disappeared after some time. So there is a need to have spectrum agility, dynamic spectrum access, but that's not covered in the 5G plan. So can you comment on that?
I can comment a bit. So we had intensive discussion on spectrum. So it took really long times and physical meetings within the association to discuss about spectrum. So we got some agreement on the fact that we need to look above 6 gigahertz. And that I think everybody agrees on that. But for the agility of spectrum, there are still some discussion, and some industry players are very okay and are looking at a new solution, and some others are still a bit reluctant. So I think we definitely need some research work on this area to show that it can improve performance, etc. But there is no industry consensus on this for the moment. But we will still work on it, I think, in the next years.
Okay, thank you very much again, Jean-Sebastien, for the keynote speech. So we are going to move on to the next session, which is about the Celtic-Plus projects which got the award. So I would like to call the people representing the 4 projects to come on stage here, and I will hand over to Peter Hermann from the Celtic office for this session.
Okay, thank you, Jacques. So the awards have been handed over yesterday in the evening at the dinner, but now the award winner can present their project here to this audience. So please come to the stage and please have a seat. Okay, so we keep the same order as yesterday. Yes, please have a seat. We keep the same order as yesterday. So we start with OperaNet, and it's Patrick Zimmermann from Orange who will give the presentation. I just have to upload your presentation, just a moment. What time is it now?
Just 1 minute. Okay, so it's done.
Yes, and you will be the next, and we change the order. Okay. Best of Celtic-Plus, OperaNet. Okay. Here there's 2 possibilities. Maybe you prefer the micro in your hand.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. So my name is Patrick Zimmermann, and I'm working in Orange Labs. So I was a work package leader in OperaNet project. So to be honest with you, it was very difficult to gather all economic fallouts of this project because it has finished since 3 years now. But anyway, I will try to highlight some of them during this presentation. So OperaNet was launched in 2008 with 11 partners. So we have Orange as a telco who was leading the project. We have 2 radio access network vendors, Nokia and Alcatel-Lucent. We have 3 industrial partners, Arelis, Thomson, who provide transmitter for broadcast. We have Alpha Technologies, who provide energy metering solution. We have Freescale Semiconductors, who is designing power amplifier for base station. We have an SME, FOA, who is providing power supply. We have also 3 research institutes, VTT, which is in Finland, sorry. VTT in Finland, IBEC in Belgium, I2R in Singapore, and we have also an academic partner, which is Cardiff University, who was involved in PIA architecture design with Freescale. So the project, the main idea of the project was to reduce the energy consumption of the radio access network. So the main ideas was first to define energy efficiency KPIs, and then to provide a model of base station energy consumption, to improve the power amplifier architecture, to develop a sleep mode strategy, and to assess the gain provided by this sleep mode versus the quality of service in the network. So if you have a look on the architecture of radio access network, the main elements that have been impacted by the project were the radio interface with link level simulation, but mainly inside the base station with the power amplifier and overall radio modules. So the main outcome of the project, it is clear that OperaNet tried to carry out, model, and test different sleep mode strategy that are now deployed in the Orange network over the world. So the main outcome of the project was to prove that sleep mode, in addition to reduce energy consumption, were not impacting negatively the quality of service in the network. To prove that, we have developed some link level simulator and system simulator. We included in this simulator energy model of the base station, and we performed simulation inside a real network to prove that the quality of service was not significantly impacted. Regarding the business impact, it is clear that most of our industrial partners in this project get benefit of OperaNet results. For example, with Arelis Thomson, they developed a new set of TV broadcasts called Next TV, which was launched in September last year. Freescale, which is a designer of power amplifier, now producing a new type of power amplifier based on Doherty technology and envelope tracking. So this this is the last. Excuse me. So this new power amplifier have a higher efficiency than the state-of-the-art at the beginning of the project, as shown in this figure. So regarding Nokia, Nokia didn't get a direct impact of energy of OperaNet results, but today Nokia presents its results, and the OperaNet results are reflected in Nokia sustainability reports. For FOA, they continue to improve the conversion efficiency of several products. Alpha Technology has developed a monitoring board called Compass that have been designed and optimized on a real network. It is clear that For Orange, Orange is the most concerned by the reduction of the power consumption in radio access network. And the OperaNet ambition that was to optimize power efficiency in mobile radio access network is now being rolled out across most of the Orange footprint countries in Europe, but also in Africa and in Middle East. The main result is now we can get more than 2% of electrical consumption saving of 2G and 3G radio sites. We have energy reduction in 2013 more than 35 gigawatt hours, leading to an OPEX reduction of about 5 million euros per year. Of course, all the sleep mode strategy have been tested in a real condition, as shown in this graph, where we have made some field trial in Egypt, where we can see the gain brought by this sleep mode. Regarding the return on investment, it has been multiplied by 12 since the end of the project in 2011. And it will probably be multiplied by 35 in the 2 next years, with a number of improved products, more than 10, and 10 patents. We also, during the project, contribute to standardization, mainly in ETSI. And it is also clear that the OperaNet result will be more and more visible in the next year, as the products and the concept developed in the project will be more and more deployed in the network. For example, the switch mode power amplifier that have been designed by Freescale will probably equip the small cell base station in the future. So to conclude this presentation, I will say that OperaNet, and now OperaNet 2, which is a continuity of OperaNet, and I invite you to see the demo of OperaNet 2 close to this room. OperaNet and OperaNet 2 have now 3 impacts level. An economic impact that have been presented previously, but also an environmental impact, because we are deploying now more and more base stations powered by renewable energy, mainly in Africa and Middle East. And also a social impact, because Orange is now able to provide services and access to internet to people that are not connected to a reliable grid. So this is the conclusion of this presentation. And I would like again to thank all of you for the award received by OperaNet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Any question to Patrick? No questions? Okay. Then we go now to the SPECTRA project that runs a category in network technologies, and it will be presented by Lorenzo Giacobelli from Thales Communication and Security. So SPECTRA implemented cognitive radio technologies, allowing self-configuration of the network elements and devices.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Peter. So hello everyone, I'm Lorenzo Jacobelli from Thales Communication. I was the coordinator of the SPECTRA project. The SPECTRA project ended in September last year. This is the final configuration of the consortium. We had several changes, but at the end there were 3 countries involved, France, Spain, and Monaco. And we had 2 large industries, Thales and Indra, Monaco Telecom as an operator, Teamcast, that is an SME, and 3 research centers and academic partners, Institut Mines Telecom, Eurecom, and CEA Leat. So, as Peter already said, our objective was to realize the real implementation of cognitive radio concepts that have been studied a lot in the past, but we wanted really to have a working implementation and to improve performances in terms of efficiency. We worked on energy efficiency, spectrum efficiency, power efficiency. We really wanted to develop new algorithms, new techniques based on the cognitive radio, working at physical layer, working at resource allocation level, and to implement them on prototypes. So this is what we have done. I will just give you some ideas of the final results of the projects, some concrete results, let's say. So at the end of the project, we had 2 demonstration platforms. One based on USRP, in which we realized a cognitive radio scenario with several users adapting their transmissions and their spectrum use according to the radio conditions, and a full compliant LTE with LTE platform that was based on hardware developed in the project, on a software protocol stack also developed in the project, and with which we were able to realize LTE communications in a cognitive way. I will come back on it later. So all along the project we realized more than 30 prototypes, mainly antennas and circuits. This is just to underline that our purpose wasn't to have a lot of papers, a lot of theoretical studies, but really to test on fields our results. At the end of the project, we also released open software, in particular the OpenAir interface that is a protocol stack implemented, the full protocol stack of LTE. And as impact for the partners, there were several impacts for industrial partners involved. In particular, several products have been improved. This is just an example. You can see the products from Teamcast that, thanks to the studies in digital predistortion carried on in the project, was able to strongly improve their products. And also the studies carried on were represented the basis for Thales and Indra in particular for new lines of SDR products, software-defined radio products. Both the Indra and Thales are working on this hot topic and this new line of product, and SPECTRA results were really useful for this. Okay, we also had some scientific publications. And at the end of the project, there was also the creation of a foundation around the software released by the project, so the LTE-compatible protocol stack that I mentioned before. And so a foundation was created around it. Just to show that the system really works, we had some experimentation in Monaco. If you were there last year at the Celtic-Plus Event in Monaco, you probably remember our demo. So we had several trials. In particular, we were able to make our realize the hardware and software communicate with a device from the commerce. So our implementation was recognized as a base station by a commercial device. And we were able to communicate using both LTE bands, classic LTE bands, and TV white space. So to use these different frequencies in cognitive way to have more spectrum efficiency. Okay, I think I have time to just a couple of examples of the impact of of the results. This is the Express MIMO 2 card. It was realized during the project. It's the card that were used for the demonstration. We realized more than 90 boards of these boards, and we were able to sold some of them. So 70 of these cards have been sold to academics, large companies, and SMEs. And since there is a strong interest in these cards, now there is a contract with Telmat that is now responsible for the distribution of this card in Europe. And there are contacts also with the company in Malaysia for the distribution in Asia. This was about hardware. About software, as I said, we realized a protocol stack compatible with LTE. There is a foundation that was created around this software to push the use of this software, and there are discussions ongoing for the creation of a service company to allow the use of this software, the support to customers that want to use this software. This is a completely open source software, so if you want to have an implementation of LTE working, you can download it from the OpenAir interface website, and you can also see how it works at our stand in the exhibition area. Okay, that's all. Of course, we had several other results. I just wanted to underline the two most significant and also the two that we are presenting here at the exhibition. So if you have any questions.
So, any question to Lorenzo? Yes, please, Jesus.
Okay, it's a single question about the experience in the 700 MHz band in Monaco. Please, could you tell me if you find some problems with the TV bands or no study this question?
Actually, we asked for an authorization to use the TV bands, of course, and so no, we didn't have problems. We didn't had interferences with the TV bands because we used the band that was available. It was TV white space. But the funny story: last year we met at the Celtic-Plus Event in Monaco. We met the director of TMC, that is the Monaco television. And he was quite scared about the fact that we were using his frequencies. We took quite a long time to convince him that it was okay, we weren't interfering him.
Okay, thank you for your information. In Spain, we have a lot of problems with the coordination of both bands. Okay.
Okay. Any other question to Lorenzo? This is not the case, so thank you, Lorenzo. I would need your presentation.
Yes.
I give it to Peter.
I copied here.
Okay. There's a question, sorry.
I think this works. Yeah. So my question is, you showed this Express MIMO card. Excuse me? Yeah. Okay. So is this required, or can you? I mean, you also showed the one with the USRP, so I'm kind of confused there.
So this was the implementation that we realized during the project, the Express MIMO card. They are hardware that we realized during the project, and the software was initially conceived to be used on this card. But what we did was to extend this software to be really compatible with the different hardware implementations. So, as you said, here we do not show the Express MIMO card, but we show this protocol stack implemented and used with a new SRP card. That is a card that you can buy in commerce. So yes, the protocol stack is fully compatible with the other hardware implementation. It's not hardware dependent.
Okay. Any other question? No? And thank you again, Lorenzo. Okay, then now we are coming to the CIER project. The presentation will be done by Jens Mödecker from Fraunhofer Institute. And the CIER project realized the plug-and-play radio systems that can bring broadband connectivity to rural regions. Please, Jens.
Thank you very much.
Still have to open your presentation. Here.
just brought a new one. Okay. First of all, thank you for being here. So also I'd like to thank you, the Celtic team again for being nominated for that. So now I'm going to present the results of the project CIER, which means Converged Infrastructure for Emerging Regions. This was a project running with different companies from Germany, Finland, and also from France. So it's Fraunhofer in there, it's what I'm representing. Ericsson Finland, Orange France. LinkNet is actually a company which was placed in Zambia. They were providing facilities where we could test stuff. Magisterwert from Finland, Media Broadcast from Germany, and Elisa from Finland as well. Yes, and University of Kaiserslautern, VTT is very present on this. And also we have another new opportunity which we'll show later on where we had the possibility to install our stuff. Okay, first I would like to explain why we did this, what we did. So our idea was, the motivation was that we think that people, they are not connected to the internet right now, they should be connected. And how to do this, what are the problems there? And so we looked at this, and first we picked up the sub-Sahara region of Africa, where every people has just 1% of the average of the whole world on bandwidth accessible. The cost for connecting such a region is about 50 times more than average on the world. And so 70% of the population in these regions are living in the rural areas. So there's a very huge number of population there. So, and we think that this internet access and services are very important for economically and socially and for well-being as well. So this, what appeared during the project was that it's not just sub-Sahara, it's everywhere. You have rural areas, so they are not connected yet. Just the main issue why it's not connected here is just showing on the left side. You see the graph where you have the cost for setting up and operating a system that's providing connectivity, and you see the dashed line which showing which is the revenue per user, and you have this in rural areas. The cost for setting up a network like this is so high that there's no money left to get something out of it. So that's why usually huge operators do not install such a network. So just the reason for this, why it's so expensive, is it's very spread around people. So you have to capture a huge area to get connectivity there. You don't have reliable energy, and so and also you have no skilled people which could operate a system like this. So seems that there is no business case for this, and so we looked into this, and our vision was still this: connecting them by having a technology which are energy efficient and aware, and should also be self-managed. So it should not be necessary to have skilled people, and should be at low cost. Another requirement we find out is that it should also be support different technologies, so should integrate these and converge these technology to be integrated in bigger networks. The challenges we have faced, I just mentioned it before, so they don't have infrastructure. There are no cables in a lot of regions, so it's difficult to set something up there, or we have huge distances between the localities, especially in Africa. You have very spread around these cities or villages are far apart, and also you don't have a reliable power grid there. Another thing that's quite important, we figured out during the project that there's really no people that could really drive a very complex system as it usually for operating system are. And yes, we also faced some socioeconomic issues and conditions where we have to convince people how to do this and so on. For a solution, we find out that wireless LAN is not a solution because it's already a bit difficult. You have to know what you do, and cellular technologies are just too costly. So therefore, we found a solution which should do self-configuration. So it's untrained people could just put a node there, or if something is damaged, you just go there, remove the node, put a different there, and the system will find out itself that there's something new there and will start the operation again. It should also do optimization. This is because we use, for the example, the 5 gigahertz net spectrum, and we do some radio planning on automatic base to use it as efficient as possible. Also, there should be some possibilities to do self-healing if you have the possibility to find another way to reconnect another node, then the system should do this. And yeah, as I said before, it's very important that the system should not consume too much energy. For example, to drive these nodes with solar power, and should not be as huge as a football field or something like this, should be very small. So therefore, we picked up standard technologies like IEEE 802 with Wi-Fi and ZigBee to set up networks with these technologies. And at last, we was trying to put this in the same context as operator networks work, so we used proven protocols to integrate this in operator worlds techniques. So the solution was a carrier-grade service delivery by non-specialists at low cost. So at this picture, you just see how the consortium worked together on the whole chain from the network through the access networks to see the companies who work on different topics in this project, and we find a complete integrated solution which we have shown in the review at the end of the project. And yeah, the outcome of this is that we actually find out that there are business cases how this could be done with cheap hardware and finding some money from, example, a public thing to just do the investment to set up this network, and also operating it with local support. You always need this, and if you don't need very special trained people, it's possible. Another thing we developed was that we have a system which is really doing self-configuration, self-management on the multi-radio base, so we have also very good throughput to this, so we could really deliver bandwidth to outer regions. And for this, we actually decided to use a cross-layer approach, architecture, which is allowing us to control the energy through upper layers, so we could really save energy by doing forwarding packets in the right way. And finally, we really proved that it works in real test beds we have set up in Europe and also in Africa. So we have small devices there. This is what I was closing this in the presentation is here, that we had set up in Tanzania, close to the Victoria Sea. On the left side you see, on the right side you see a small city where it's already connected via fiber, but the small villages on the way down this island, there's no connectivity at all. And so we managed together with the local government to install a network there, and it's running since September 2014. So that's our main work we have done. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Jens. Any question to Jens on this? Oh, yeah.
I think this works.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for a nice presentation. These are the type of technologies that we want to have in Africa and work. I wanted to ask you, did you try with alternative energy powering of the network nodes? Or?
Actually, this network you're seeing on the wall is that it's running on solar power. This is these are towers. Are there one picture you could see up there? So there are these towers, and above 5 meters high, there is installed a solar panel and also a battery. And this runs without any grid power.
The next question is about the, you have a large range, 90 kilometers, but Wi-Fi is not, optimized.
Wi-Fi is standard Wi-Fi. Yeah. We use actually Wi-Fi hardware, but we improved the layer 2 behavior to get better throughput and behavior, so we could assure that we could serve a certain quality of service. So really, one of the targets was to also do voice over IP on a carrier grade level. And actually, I'm showing this in the demo over in the other room around the corner.
Okay, any other question to Jens? No? Then thank you, Jens, for your presentation. Okay, so the next presentation is Mediamap Plus, given by Guillaume Asmar. Please come to the stage, and Roger. Please come to the stage.
And Roger and Steny, yes, the Mediamap Plus project was really a project of partnership and friendship. And it proved that the consortium is also a living cell, because we started with one broadcaster, RTBF. We ended the project with two broadcasters, sorry, RTBF and Rod. You want me to speak louder? Okay. We had a nice evening yesterday, and thanks to you. And my voice is slightly broken, so I will ask for the assistance of my friends during the presentation. Yes, we proved during the Mediamap Plus project that the consortium is a matter of partnership and friendship. It's also a living cell. We started with one broadcaster, RTBF. We ended with two broadcasters, RTBF and Radio France. We had two startups, Perfect Memory and Limecraft in the core of the project. Also the HTT company, the company I do run, that is a 25 years company. Yes, Mediamap Plus was about saving money in production and of media content, of broadcasting contents. This is not what we're going to show you. We have a small video during the presentation that will introduce the results of the project. But we had some major outputs of the project. One was on ontology side, the other ones were on middleware semantic buses. Perhaps, Roger, you could come on scene and start to introduce what you think. As the web as a brain. It's your go. So Roger Rogers, who is head of research at RTBF and who is retiring tomorrow night. Last official intervention.
So I will talk a little bit about the vision, yes. We are somewhere in the layer 6 of the OSI, so I hope to keep everybody, because we are going to do things. So if I want to smoke, what do I take? Are you sleeping? A cigarette. A cigarette. If I'm a little bit old-fashioned, what do I take? Yeah, quite clever. A pipe, a pipe. We agree on the fact that a pipe, a cigarette, is an object. Yeah? So, what's that? I'm listening. I'm listening, okay? It's not a pipe. Do you agree on that? Are you sure? Because something is coming more. Normally, after the first question, it's okay with the audience. With the second question, I have 90% of people floating. Because, let us agree on things. The first message is the representation, the object is not the representation. Okay, we can agree on that. But, if I say the representation is not the meaning, everything stops here. This is where we are working. We are working in this third part, okay? We are saying, let us take the meaning. This is very important. This is very important. You have really to separate orthogonality between the three things. I wrap up. This is the object. This is real world. We are in evidence, okay? Then we have representations of that. The first one is what we saw. Yeah? This is syntactic interoperability. We have rules for that. What do you see more there? Look deeply. Look deeply. You must see there 86 billions of euro. All Horizon 2020 is there in the representation. Crazy. Hmm? And in England they would say, not a penny for the meaning, not a penny. No, isn't that a disaster? Hmm? So you can imagine with this kind of concept, we have been a success story in the UNESCO. Why? We can talk about objects, we can talk about representations, and we can talk about the meaning of the things. So the first success story was for the UNESCO, where we introduced Axis CXRM that I won't explain today. Even some reviewers said, it's a very good stuff, go on. So we did that, and I would like to say today my last 10 cents, because I'm retired on Friday. Yeah? Digital age without semantic is a nonsense. Remember that. Digital age without semantic is a nonsense. It's up to you.
Yes, thanks a lot. I'm going to get back a little bit. On the slide, and the goal of the project, of course, was to save money during content production. It was also and truly and really to interconnect systems through semantic middleware, and to not to have the system to exchange information, but to have the systems to exchange meanings. And that was what we achieved, and that was what we have. This is what we have, some outputs of the project for the different companies. So the Axis CSRM, find that on the web. It's a very interesting description of contents, of rights, and rights is really a key issue in production. It's one of the outputs of the NPO Titan brought to the market. We as SGT brought to the market a wide range rights management system. This is a direct output of the Mediamap Plus project. We have also smaller outputs. I won't explain you what is an alternate playlist in case of an incident. I won't explain to you why Swiss degree publishing is technically not an issue, but when we talk about rights management, when we talk about editing, when we talk about branding, this is a real issue, and this is also one of the outputs of the Mediamap Plus project. I'm not going to go into the details of the rights management system. Jacques, one thing. Yes, you ask the approval of the audience. You say, okay, if you want not to be on the web, please say so. Just understand that should anyone, any broadcaster, any website on the web, truly respect all the legal issues with IP, no one would broadcast any kind of content. No one would broadcast any kind of content. And this is what is going to happen today. This is happening today, and from the result of the Mediamap Plus project, we can offer our customers freedom of panorama. I'm not going to get again into the details, but this is one of the major outputs. Rights management is really about risk management. Steny from Perfect Memory also introduced a lot of semantic technology, semantic middleware. So I'm going to give him the mic for Perfect Memory to market.
Thank you. Yes, actually, Perfect Memory is delivering the semantic middleware. You know, semantic is dealing with memory, and you know that memory is what humankind is externalizing. It is our nowadays prosthesis, new prosthesis. So what is in your databases, in your mobile phone, on servers, it's just memory. And memory is the condition of survival of any human organization. So what we are dealing with human organization, human memories. So perfect memory has increased during the project, is revenue by 6 in 1 year. We deliver our technology to the main platform to export the French audiovisual TV content. Okay, we are extending our market from media to agency and industry. We have raised 1 million euro during the project, and we are about to raise much more before the end of this year. The team have been increased by 2, and we are really targeting a leadership on this issue of reconcile any sources of content, of data, in order to build upon these data sources a network of knowledge. Because you know today the difference between RTBF and Netflix is what? Is the knowledge that Netflix has about its customers. Because Netflix is aware that the information about the customer is not only the information that Netflix is about to produce internally. The information about customer is available on the ecosystem. Partners, coming from user itself, coming from anywhere. And if you are capable of gathering all this information, you are able to doing business. This is the new paradigm. Okay, maybe we can send the video.
When you go to the next slide and you click on the.
Oh yeah.
It should come automatically.
This is what we have done. So production, okay, but we have introduced the semantic middleware to connect any actors of the audiovisual cycle, audiovisual process. The editing. So the editing has received the pre-production information through the semantic middleware. Then the results have been pushed to the payout, so that we can anticipate the delivery, the broadcasting of the program before the program exists. Okay. So things are indexed just before things exist, because we have the meaning, so we know what is coming in the future. And now we have a rich access to the information with all the annotation connected, linked to the asset that have been produced and that will be broadcast. So we have revealed what the information, the knowledge that was attached to the assets. Okay, so we increase the traction of the content. This is what we have done.
Okay, so the one last slide about the Mediamap success. Yes, of course, we achieved. I'm running out of time. Technical achievement about interoperability, about the semantic middleware. Again, scientific achievement, and I really believe that all that we introduce is a real paradigm shift. Axis SRM is a small step. Oh, by the way, there is IP on that sentence, so I'm not going to say let's solve it for mankind, blah, blah, blah. And it was very important also to understand that one of the major outputs of the Mediamap project and one of its success is the consolidation of 2 startups. The project was strategic for the 3 others, the SGT, Perfect Memory, and Limecraft. The 2 startups are on a confirmed track now. SGT confirmed its strategy. That was very, very, very important to us. So really we want to thank you for approving the project a few years ago, and thank you for that award that brought us much to our heart. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Guillaume. Maybe if there are questions, you don't disappear. Is there any question to one of the three presenters from the Mediamap Plus project? No? No question? Okay. Then thank you again. So now a few informations just before going for the break. There will be a guided tour to the demos that I will organize just now. We will meet in front of the demo room. And then the next session will be very full. We have 13 project pitches. So please be back here in this meeting room sharp at 12 o'clock. Thank you very much and have a nice break.